Hello everyone, welcome to my channel C.S.E.Pathshala. We were studying about Python for machine learning and data science, and in this tutorial we will study about scatter plots, plotting, combining and subplots. So if we talk about scatter plot, it's a two-dimensional chart that uses dots or points, or it can be any other shape to represent the values between two different variables. That means we will be having representation of x and y coordinate of a point, and they will be in a certain relation as per like a function, that is f of x equal to y. Okay, then scatter plots are often used to show how much the value of one variable is affected by the other. That means I have already told that since there will be a relation between these 2 points in a form of y equal to f of x, so by putting a certain value of x in a function, we will get the respective values of y. So let's consider a code where we will generate a scatter plot with the x-axis that contains a list of numbers from 1 to 4 and a y-axis that is showing the cube of the numbers which are present on the x-axis. Percentage matplotlib inline, that means we need to generate the output on the same page. Then we are importing matplotlib.pyplot, that means our submodule pyplot from the main module matplotlib in the form of an alias as plt. Then we are plotting the scatter plot, that means plt.plot. So here we will use plot method. Okay, and the arguments which we will give here in our plot method is, that means the coordinates or the list of elements which we need to represent on x-axis. Here these are 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the coordinates which we need to represent on y-axis, that means here they are the cube of the numbers which are present on the x-axis. So these are respectively 1, 8, 27 and 64. So it's also a list. Then we will mark the points, that means both these x and y, with respect to blue color marker in a form of a circles. So here I am taking in a quotation BO. B stands for the blue color and O stands for the circle. Okay, then we are also taking the axis for our 2D scatter plot, and this axis represents again a list. That means here it will start from 0, that will be x minimum. It will go to 4.5, that will be x maximum, and 0, that will be again y minimum, and 70 will be the y maximum. So this is how we can set the coordinates of our axis from x min to x max and y min to y max, and then we are showing our plot by plt.show. So let's save this code and run this code. So here is our scatter plot, and with respect to all the 4 points which we did mention here on the x-axis, cube has been calculated and they have been plotted with reference to the y-axis here, and the color for each scatter plot points are of blue. We did mention here in our code also. Okay, and they are also in a circular format. Now if you want to combine the plots, we can combine multiple scatter plots also into one chart. This can be done with the help of a code. Let's understand this one. So here is the code. It's all same if we talk about the line number 1 and the line number 2. Here we are also importing NumPy library. Okay, and why we are doing this thing? Because in the next line we are taking a range of values. That means a equal to np.arange 1, 4.5, 0.1. This means that we will take our start number 1, we will move to 4.5 with a difference of 0.1 every time. That means our first number will be 1, the next will be 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 till we haven't reached 4.5. Okay, and then we will perform the plotting, that is the scatter plot by plt.plot, and here the relationship between x and y coordinates are such that a, that means we will take the value which we got from the above line by a range, and then we are squaring the value of a, that is a square, and we are displaying it with the help of a yellow color, that is y, and here we are putting a cap, that is triangle up marker. Okay, so it will display yellow color triangles. Then again we are taking a, and now we are taking the cube of the values present in a, and then we are representing it with the help of blue color and circles. Okay, and then again we are taking a, we are calculating the power to the 4 of a, and we are displaying it with the help of a red color in a dashed format. So here y cap means yellow triangle, bo means blue and circle, and r dash dash means red color with the dashed lines. Okay, and then we are taking our axis for the plot, that is plt.axis 0, 4.5, that means x minimum and x maximum, then 0, 70, that means y minimum and the y maximum, and then we are showing our plot by plt.show. So let's save this code and run this code. Okay, so here it is. So we can see all these three scatter plots in a same plot or in a same figure. This is our first plot, that means yellow triangles. Then this is our second plot, which means your blue circles, and this is our third plot, that means red dashed lines. So here this chart is displaying all the three scatter plots, and we can customize the shape of the points to draw on the scatter plot just to create a difference, that means. Okay, and then also here we did used y to the power cap, that is a triangle cap, and it indicates a yellow triangle up marker, and bo indicates the blue circles, and so on. That means r dash dash represents the red dashed lines. Now the next thing is subplots. See, we can also plot multiple scatter plots separately. In the above example, we did plot various plots on a same figure. But if you want to have multiple scatter plots separately, and then if you want to combine them in a single figure, yes, we can do this with the help of a subplots. Okay, so let's consider a code and then we will understand. So here our first three lines are same as we took in the previous example. Okay, and the next one is we are taking a variable which has been assigned to np.arrange, that is 1, 5, 0.1. That means we will start from the value 1, we'll go till 5, and with a difference of 0.1, that means 1, 1.1, 1.2, and so on till 5. And here we are taking plt.subplot 1 to 1. Okay, what does this subplot means? It represents one row, two columns, and chart 1. Actually, what we are trying to do, we are showing various plots on a same figure. So how to do this task? That means here it stands subplot 1 to 1, that is one row. Obviously we are having a single row, then two columns. That means in one column we will show a plot, and in the second column we will show some other plot. Okay, and this first subplot will represent the chart 1. Okay, so whatever we will plot in the first column is been represented by chart 1. Then what to plot here? So in this section we will plot, that means here we are taking, this is one list and this is another list. Okay, that means we are taking the values from 1 to 5, and then we are taking the cube of the values of 1 to 5. So these are for x and these are for y, and then we are displaying this scatter plot with the help of a yellow color in a triangle figure or shape. Okay, and then what we are doing, we are again taking a subplot, that means plt.subplot 1 to 2. What does this mean? Again we are working on a first row, second column, that means there is a twice distribution of two columns here, okay, and the chart number 2. So in the column number 2, we will plot a figure that will be coming up into the next line, and we will name it as chart number 2. So what plot we are doing there? Plt.plot a comma a square, okay, and y triangle. That means we are taking value of a range, then calculating the square of each value and representing it with the help of a yellow color and triangle figure. We are again doing the same thing. That means we are taking value a, finding the cube of each value and representing it with blue color and in a form of a circles. And we are taking a again, finding the value of a to the power 4 and representing it with the red color in a dashed lines. So actually we are combining 3 scatter plots here in this, as we did in the above example, but actually it will be a part of chart 2. So here in this figure we will be having 2 charts. For the chart 1 we will be having representation of this plot, and in the chart 2 we will be having a representation of this plot, and this plot comprises of 3 scatter plots. And then what we are doing, we are defining the axis. So axes are from 0 to 4.5, that is x min and x max, and then 0 to 70, that is y min and y max, and then we are showing our plot. Okay, so let's save this code and run this code. Okay, so here it is. As I have already told, we are having 2 columns. So column number 1 represents the chart number 1, and the column number 2 represents the chart number 2. This is a single row. On a single row we are having 2 columns. Okay, and the first plot is for your this one. That means a cube of the values present here. And then chart number 2, we are plotting 3 scatter plots. First one is your this, that is a range values for a with square of each one, yellow triangles, then cube of each value of a with blue circular dots, and then a to the power 4 for each value of a range with red dashed lines. Okay, so this is how we can perform subplots and draw multiple charts in a same figure. The subplot functions adds a subplot to the current figure, as we have seen, and one of the arguments which here we are taking as, that is the number of rows, number of columns, and the index. So in subplot we are giving in above example as 1 to 1. So I already mentioned that it represents row 1, column 2, and the chart 1, and so on. And we can have maximum up to 9 figures in this. Okay, subplot function can also be called with the following syntax. That means we can also take 1 comma 2 comma 1. Okay, this will also represent the same that we took above, that is 1 to 1. Here it has been separated by commas. Now using this syntax we can have more than 10 charts in a single figure. Previously we are having up to 9 charts or the 9 figures, but with the help of this we can have 10 charts. Okay, and the scatter function display points without lines connecting them. Obviously we know that there is no lines in a connection, it's just a dotted points in a form of any kind of figure. Whereas the plot function may or may not plot the lines, depending upon the what kind of arguments which we are giving there. Okay, so that's all for this tutorial related to scatter plot and its plotting, combining, and the subplots. We will come up with more informative tutorials on scatter plots. Thanks for watching. Kindly do subscribe to my channel.